The Batman is looking to be a pretty big franchise within the DC universe, of course, separate from the DCU, but not only this film trilogy or however many movies they do with Robert Pattinson as Batman, but also we're getting multiple spin-offs on HBO Max. We got the Penguin, we got the Arkham Asylum series, we got a whole bunch going in the Batman universe. And we know the Batman Chapter 2 is in development. The script is currently being written by Matt Reeves. The film is supposed to come out in 2025. So 2 years from now, the Batman Part 2, that is definitely really exciting. And one of the biggest conversations with this next Batman movie is who will be the villain. Now, the biggest theories have been, Mr. Freeze or the Court of Owls or something along those lines. But today we're talking about a very different villain because Jamie Campbell Bower, who of course you probably best know from his role as, spoiler alert for Stranger Things Season 4, but number 1, a.k.a. Vecna, on Stranger Things Season 4. Beautiful performance right there. He did such a good job in that show. Probably my favorite part of that. See, I love Stranger Things Season 4. If you haven't already, you can check out I believe I did a review and a breakdown on my other YouTube channel, The Movie Life, back when Season 4 came out. Great reveals, great twists, all that stuff. I really enjoyed that. And part of that was due to Jamie Campbell Bower's performance. He was phenomenal there. And since that kind of happened, since that big performance, of course, Jamie Campbell Bower's kind of sparked into popularity here. He's been getting a whole bunch of crazy new roles. I'm assuming he's going to be in Stranger Things Season 5 as well. But one of the biggest things, and I actually made a TikTok about this a couple months ago, is I would love to see him play a Batman villain like the Scarecrow. And now he actually today was doing an interview. An interview with him was posted today where he specifically talked about wanting to play the Scarecrow. He said something along the lines of, there's been a lot of chatter about the Scarecrow lately, and I think that would be really kind of weird and spooky and fun to do. I'd really like that. So he basically said straight up that he would like to play Batman villain, the Scarecrow, which I think is awesome because I love the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow is my favorite Batman villain aside from the Joker, obviously. But the Scarecrow is just so cool. And sure, we have kind of seen him in live action a bunch of times before, of course, in Batman Begins. We saw him recently, a version of him on Titans. Gotham actually did a great job, great version of the character. But I think bringing him into now this universe with Matt Reeves would be great. Now, some people have brought up the idea of Jamie Campbell Bower as maybe the Joker, and that would be cool, but I definitely think I would prefer him as the Scarecrow. I mean, just look at this art right here that is done of him in Arkham Asylum as Jonathan Crane, because kind of what I saw from that performance as number 1 in Stranger Things Season 4, he was very quiet. He was very held, especially, before he had his big reveal, his big turn. He was very quiet, very laid back, very soft-spoken, but also kind of very nerdy and quirky. And that's kind of who Jonathan Crane is, because he's a very sadistic guy, but he's not like the Joker where he's like loudly laughing and crazy maniacal. Jonathan Crane is the type of guy that is like quiet and nerdy and just sits back and would be kind of like what we saw from Paul Dano's Riddler, except turned down even more than that was, and more grounded. I think that Jamie Campbell Bower would do a great job not only doing the scientist, smart, nerdy elements of this character, but also on top of that, of course, the supervillain, crazy, psycho Scarecrow man who is obsessed with fear and channeling fear and all that stuff. I just think that would be absolutely great to see, and to bring that into specifically Matt Reeves, the Batman franchise, I think would be perfect, because we know they want to do much more grounded villains. So Mr. Freeze and Killer Croc and Clayface, characters like that, it's a lot less realistic to see in this universe. And Scarecrow, while it's not, while a fear toxin isn't exactly realistic or grounded, it can be made grounded. I mean, it can literally just be, this guy's a scientist, he does some crazy experiments, and those experiments lead to him creating a gas that causes people to hallucinate. I mean, you've seen you know, there's hallucinogens and stuff like that in real life that make you see things like that. So that could totally work. And I think this would be a great matchup to see Robert Pattinson's The Batman versus the Scarecrow. I mean, just there's so many ways they could go about doing it. And, out of the 3 live action versions of Scarecrow we've seen in the past, Gotham is the only one that I'm really like actually a huge fan of. The other 2 were not great in my opinion. I mean, Cillian Murphy did a great job, but I just don't think Scarecrow was really done just in that film. And don't get me started on Scarecrow from Titans season 3. Oh God. But Matt Reeves really understands this universe. He really understands these characters. I think he could do an amazing job with a character like Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, and just that whole idea of fear, I think would really fit into this universe and with this version of Batman. So this could be, of course, we see maybe the Batman Part 2, we see the Scarecrow as the main villain, or possibly even the third movie. One of these Matt Reeves directed, Robert Pattinson starring the Batman movies could have the Scarecrow as the main villain of that movie. That could be pretty cool. Or what a lot of people kind of forgot about is, we have the Batman Part 2 coming. We all know about Penguin and the Arkham Asylum series, but what a lot of people forget about is that a couple months ago, Matt Reeves announced he was doing solo movies for Scarecrow, Clayface, and Professor Pig set within this universe. Now, we haven't heard anything since then, so for all we know, those projects could have fallen through, but it is also possible we could be getting a Scarecrow solo movie and Jamie Campbell Bower could play the lead in that movie. Now, then again, I don't remember for sure. I don't think they ever specified if it would be a movie or a series. They just said projects. So it could be an HBO Max series for the Scarecrow, or it could be a Scarecrow movie. Either way, I think Jamie Campbell Bower would be great casting for this role, and I would absolutely love to see that, especially if he wants to play the Scarecrow. We want him to play the Scarecrow. Matt Reeves, the Batman team, Warner Brothers DC, let him play the Scarecrow. I think this would be absolutely phenomenal casting. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this news that Jamie Campbell Bower wants to play Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow? Would you like to see the Scarecrow in the Batman universe? Would you like to see him be the villain of the Batman movie or get his own solo movie? And what do you think about Jamie Campbell Bower in the role as Jonathan Crane? So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.